Hello, I am Natalia Alvarez and this is my final project, Latino American Culture Through Storytelling. Often the cultural component is ignored in the secondary education curriculum, which focuses only on the language. Teachers spend the greatest amount of time and effort on teaching grammatical and lexical components of the language, leaving the culture as the weakest component in the curriculum. Understanding the context in which the foreign language is used is essential to establish an emotional connection with the language of study. This project aims to present storytelling as an alternative method to teach culture at secondary level through the development of a website. This website is equipped with myths, legends, music styles, types of foods, literature, and idiomatic expressions that users can utilize to make analogies, cultural comparisons, linguistic connections, social interactions, and emotional connection with the Latino American culture. This is the home of my website. As you can see, I have structured the website in different regions of Latin America: South America, Central America, the Caribbean, and I have another section named Comparte tu historia, which means share your story. I also have other resources such as Comunidad Latina, social forum, and a blog. Users can easily look for whatever they are interested in by using the search icon if they want to. Then this is a description of what you can do in this website and why this website might be for you. In this part, you can see all the things that you can learn. Also, this section named Tell. So in this section, users can tell their stories or their experiences with Latino American culture, and they can do it through a discussion forum or social media. In the Connect section, they can connect with communities of Latino American people or just connect with people who are interested in learning more about the culture. In this part, I talk about my experience as a Spanish teacher and also the struggles that I see that Spanish teachers have teaching the culture. So, through a story, I'm just introducing myself and trying to connect with the users of this website. In this part, you can see the testimonials. Some of them are from my current students of Spanish. And you can also see the contact me form that users will use to make contact with me. Now let's talk about the content. If you go to South America and click on Colombia, for example, you can find different images about the country. Then you can find some facts about Colombia. I thought that was interesting to introduce the users with information that they didn't know. Then you have a very interesting video about visiting Colombia and the reasons why to stay there. So I just wrote a description of the video, but the users can just click on it. Then you have different pictures about touristic places in Colombia. For example, this is La Candelaria in Bogota. This is one of my favorite places. So I just wanted to make this page very attractive. Again, this project is mostly for teenagers and also teachers of Spanish to use. So I think that the visual component is very important. I also include an interactive activity that I designed for one of my classes. So if you can click here if you want. So I just designed a drop and drag interaction based on the images that I already present. So the users can just play with this, and there are other activities in this Captivate activity. I also incorporate a link to an interactive map. This is gonna open a different website, but I thought that was very useful to use interactive maps for those users who want to learn more about the geographical location of the places and so on. Here is the main content of the Colombian culture. So as I mentioned before, the website is divided by different sections: myths and legends, literature, traditions and celebrations, food, music, and idiomatic expressions. So let's say that I'm gonna take you to the myths and legends. In this page, you can find the most interesting myths and legends of Colombia. I introduce the page by justifying or explaining why myths and legends are a powerful, fun, and natural way to disseminate the cultural legacy of a country. Or, in other words, to explain why myths and legends can help you to learn about the culture. Then what I did was I selected some videos, animations. They are in YouTube, but I took the time to write the description of each one in English so they can see it. For the future, I want to annotate each video so they can understand it more. I would like to incorporate quizzes on the video or just questions to help students to understand each of them. So I'm just gonna show you a little piece of these videos.
En un alejado pueblo de Antioquia, Colombia, había un joven cura, cumplidor de sus deberes y alejado de toda tentación. Un día de misa apareció en la iglesia una mujer casada, recién llegada, que vivía en las afueras del pueblo. Al ver el cura quedó prendada de él.
Anyway, as you can see, it's very is well done and is very appealing for my audience. Here in this link, you can find more of these legends. It's just basically the same page, but with more stories. Then I incorporate other resources such as articles, audio, puzzles, and video. So if you click on the audio, for instance, I just select some audio resources that users can use to extend their knowledge about the myths and legends that I presented before. So, for example, users can find audiobooks, they can find songs related to it, they can check the lyrics, they can find a podcast. This is a podcast I designed for one of my classes. They can listen, and there are more podcasts that they can listen to. If you go back to the page we were before, you can find other resources. For example, videos about people who affirm that they have been in contact with these mythological creatures. They can find also puzzles to have fun with. So basically, this is the structure of my website. You can find the same design in all the pages, but this is just an example of what I did. And finally, in the section Comparte tu Historia, I'm working on a discussion forum that they can use to share their stories, and I would like to incorporate more social media and other resources, for example, groups that users can use to interact and share whatever they want to share. So this was my final project presentation. There are much more to share, but no more time. It was a pleasure to present for you. Thank you very much for your attention.